Hello, good morning folks, this is a Zulu. It is now 7:35 a.m. here. I found recording early in the morning is better than recording sort of midday or any other time of the day for me. A, I tend to be more alert. B, the light's a bit better because I can put my hallway light on, as you can see behind me, and get some better light. And also you don't get so much glare. What happened was I thought I got a few things through the post and I wanted to show them, but first I want to do a couple of shout outs. I've been a busy boy the weekend. Went to watch a lot of football. I watched 4 games of football and a game of rugby. The England took on the All Blacks in the rugby, and before that there was a football match. Liverpool took on Fulham. Then on the Sunday, I watched the Everton game, about half of that. I watched the Man United game, and there was another game, but I forgot. That was a Liverpool game. That was against Fulham. So I can't remember the game. It was Cardiff on Saturday. That was right. That's Cloudy Mulder's team. I was watching the Cardiff play Brighton, and that was a good game. And then we finished with Man U, played Man City, which was a local derby. And when I was watching that, a few of my friends came in from the Old Rock days, and you can imagine what happened. Not saying too much, but we watched the match and I sort of beat a hasty retreat a bit afterwards. But it was a phenomenally good weekend. The weather's been really wet here, but last week I ordered a load of stuff from eBay. For the simple reason was it was so cheap. And I'm going to show you that in a minute, but first I just want to do a couple of shout outs. The first channel I'm going to give a shout out to is the Grey Man. I only found his channel a couple of weeks ago and I wish I found it earlier. If you're into comic books and like death metal, he's your man. Holds some great stuff up. Also another one, anyway, so through the Grey Man I found we was on this on last night. What they do on his channel, I'm new to this, so bear with me if I've got anything wrong. There's a guy called Elric, and what they're doing is every Monday night they start at A, and Elric shows all the records he's got beginning with A. And last night it was B, and I was watching that. Then Grey Man, I don't know your first name, took me over to this radio station that's online. And that's called devastation radio.com. I'll put the links below. Then we got listening to a radio show last night that Elric, who was on the YouTube video earlier, was DJing. And it was a great one last night, so we're playing songs over 20 minutes long. You got Rush's 2012, band called Cathedral, and I ended up buying the CD because I picked it up for £3. And what else was there? The Pink Floyd Shine On You Crazy Diamond. And I can't remember what the other song was. Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells, and another track I forgot. I may have got them all, but I think I forgot. So that's what happened to me last night. So I was listening to this radio station. And if you're into sort of like any forms, styles of metal, like death metal, power metal, whatever you're into, just check it out. It's really, really good. So I've got the links to those 2 channels below when I launch this video. But without further ado, so anyway, I bought a load of bargains, came in last week, and I just thought I'm going to show them today. It's an eclectic mix, to say the least. They're all behind me, so sorry I keep looking back. But you have to also forgive me, I stood my toe, because I caught the chair at the wrong angle and it went flying through the kitchen. Good job I've got a balcony to the right of me, it's in the end of the kitchen. And I always make sure that door's locked, because otherwise I'm fourth story up. I'm not on sort of ground level. But anyway, my first acquisition, this was a couple of £. The condition's not brilliant, but I'm happy to own it. This was released in 1964, and it's the second EP the Rolling Stones stuck out. It's on the Decca label. And what it was, when after the first album was released, Mick Jagger, they were recording at the Chess Studios in Chicago, which was really, really famous for the blues. And it was like when you get these English lads suddenly going to Chicago, the home of the music they've been listening to, and inspired them to perform this music to bring it to England. So they were like in seventh heaven, if you like. And it was recorded in June 1964 and released in August. And it was called 5x5 because it was like a play on word, 5 tracks for 5 members of the band. It's also another very important single in the Stones discography, because the simple reason is, if you have a look at it, it's got Empty Heart and 2020 South Michigan Avenue were written by 2 guys called Nanker and Pledge. Now, if you know your Stones history, Nanker and Pledge were Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, and this record was their first attempts at songwriting. So as you can see, it's a very important 7-inch in their sort of discography. Also for the fact it's just absolutely raw. Because what many people don't realise, the Stones in 63 and 64, before Mick Jagger and Keith Richards started writing the stuff, they were playing the blues, and they were incredibly raw. And he's got the original line-up. Brian Jones plays some excellent guitar on some of these tracks, and you got Bill Wyman and Mick Jagger's vocals, and they were just so raw. Maybe their equipment wasn't as good as it went on to be, but any Rolling Stones collector, this is the stuff to go for, the early stuff, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. I hope I've whetted your appetite for it. The second item, which I got, was the bargain of a lifetime. I got 3 books for £3.50. Yep, £3.50, folks, plus a bit of postage. Again, Rolling Stones. I couldn't believe this one. You got Keith Richards. That's the biography? Won't be an autobiography because he's wrote it himself. That's the Keith Richards one. I also got this one, which I've got, but in another format. I've read this book loads of times. But the book I'm interested in is this one, A Journey Through America with the Rolling Stones. I can't wait to have a look at this one. And you get some nice glossy pictures in them, and it's just great. And I just can't wait to stop reading them as well. But for the price I paid for them, my eyes nearly popped out my head. There's easily a tenner's worth there anyway. Excuse me bending down, folks, I'm sticking them on the floor. Just to break the video up, I'll break it up. Another CD I got cheap. This one's for Greg the Egg, Blackmore Rules. And this is the remastered version of Deep Purple's Burn. And it's the Mark III band, and you got people like Coverdale, and that's when he was on it. And it's got one of my favourite Deep Purple tracks, Mistreated. But it's all you got the remix. But you've also got the original version as well. But this is a remastered. I paid £2 for this. Come on, who would leave that behind for £2 with a bit? I think it's £2.50 with a bit of postage and packaging. So that's why this one's going in the collection. And that's the track listing at the back. You've got some remastered tracks. You've got the bonus tracks, and you've got the original tracks. And it gives you a bit of information about the band. I shan't open it up because this video is going to go a bit long otherwise. Now, 2 more bargains I bought was Keith Richards' Life. That's another book on Keith Richards, £2. And this one. And this book normally retails for about £30. And I paid the princely sum of, I think it was about £2 for it. And that's this out book. And this is the Rolling Stones. As I say, it's a £30 book if you want to pay that for it. And it's got some fantastic stuff in there. You got some amazing. I don't think I can hold it up. It's a bit heavy. You got some cracking pictures in it, and this is like one of those coffee table books. You got stuff like that in it. Hope you can see that okay. And this looks like one of those coffee table books. For a musician's pad. It's absolutely brilliant. I won't show that. It was a bit rude. It's just got some amazing pictures, and as I say, it's hard to believe that's a £30 book. It is. And it's Rolling Stones is according to them as well, so I can't wait to read that. But for £2, come on, I'm definitely having that. And last but not least, I've got another CD. Oh yeah, this one. You remember the last video I did was I held up 2 thrash albums and Queen, and somebody saw the irony of that video. It was intended, but yeah, I got the Sabbath second album, Dream Weaver, and I ordered it off a famous site, and it's still sealed because it only came yesterday. But this is another acquisition. I'm sorry about the glare, and that's the tracks at the back. So I might get the third one. I don't know yet. I probably will if I can get it cheap enough. But I'm not going to pay. I've heard about it, and I'm not going to pay a lot of money. But this is just an amazing thrash metal band I'm into at the moment. But that's the show today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave your comments below. I appreciate all my subs and my viewers, and I'll see you next time, which should be this week. And have fun, folks, and be nice to each other. Ta-ra!